In today's video, we're going to look at some pretty stupid watercolour mistakes that I made and exactly how I fixed them. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Michelle. On this channel, we talk about all things watercolour as well as drawing, mixed media. We are fully cat approved, and you can't say that about every channel on YouTube, so please do consider subscribing. Now, I'm not stupid, and I'm sure you're not stupid either, but sometimes I do make stupid mistakes when I'm painting in watercolours. So I've actually filmed 4 of these. These are actual paintings I was working on, so this has not been filmed in the last week. These have been filmed over the last few months, so there will be some continuity errors. You'll see my nails change colour from time to time as we go through 4 of the mistakes that I made and exactly how I fixed them. Have you ever tried to do quite a complicated sky and ended up with drying lines that look really uncomfortable? You're not sure how to fix them? That's exactly what happened to me when I was filming my Aurora Borealis tutorial, which is part of the free winter landscape challenge that I did here on YouTube. There's a link in the description if you want to take that free course. But let's have a look at what was wrong with my sky and exactly how I fixed it. So I've had a look at this again. Now I've got a few drying lines. Ordinarily they'd be easily fixed, but I don't want to rub at this paper because I've still got the masking fluid on. And actually now it's dry, I still feel that the top is too purple. It needs to be a little darker in this corner and bluer. And I feel that I need a bit more dark blue down here. I need to re-wet it so that I get rid of some of these drying lines, but I've got to be so careful because I don't want to lose all of this brightness in the sky. It needs knocking back a little bit. You can see the effect here is much darker. So what I've got is, I've got the paint that I was using yesterday. It had completely dried. I just re-wetted it and I added more blue to get a really dark blue that's not too bright. So this is the exact colour we need. I also cleaned up my yellow a little bit because there was just way too much blue in here. So if I need a bit more yellow, I can go in with that. I've got several water jars here. I need to re-wet this sky and I want to re-wet all of it. But here's the problem. If I just take clean water over this, which I often do with a sky in layers, I've got staining colours on here. I'm going to move all of that colour into the white. So I've got to be really careful. So I've got multiple water jars and multiple brushes. I'm going to wet and paint on areas, but without spreading water in one go across the whole thing. So the whole thing's going to be wet, but I'm not just going to take clean water over all of it and smudge all of those staining colours in. I'm going to start up here actually with pure blue paint, and I'm going to come down, and then when I get to about here, I'm going to start here with clean water and go up to meet that area so we're not spreading this dark further down. I just want it bluer. I don't want it further down the page. So I'm going to start here. And I'm literally just going to go on dry paper here and take this on. That's covering up the purple quite a bit, so I'll add a little water. To some extent, you have to play this by ear, just see how it looks. So much happier with that. Okay, so that's looking great. What I'm going to do now is rinse and dry that brush. Then I'm going to start down here with clean water. I'm going to take that water up to meet this line. So you see we've made this area darker, but without spreading it further down. So I'm going to keep coming down here with clean water. We're just going to agitate this water line here a little bit where it was drying. Keeping on cleaning my brush and agitating any areas I want to fix. Bringing that water down quite close to the mountains, but not touching them. I like that area of lightness. There's a bit too much of it on the left. We've also got this hard edge here. So again, we'll agitate this. This is why I don't use a brush that's too soft like a sable, apart from the whole animal cruelty thing. Don't get me started on that. So what I'm going to do now is just make sure there's not too much water on the paper first, because I want the next bits to spread, but if they spread too far, they'll cover up all of that nice yellow we've got. Let's go around the edge here. And now let's just see if we can take a bit more dark blue in. And I'm going to come down here as well. Now I'm just going to rinse my brush just to get some of the paint off it, because I want to bring this down, but I don't want to go too dark down here. Just come a little more onto that yellow so that we change it a little bit to green. And I'm just taking a damp brush along this bottom edge here because there was a slight line where I had come off the water, and I'm getting a bit of a drying line there. You have to be really careful here to try and keep these water levels even. Of course, this top part is wanting to dry because I put it on before the rest, so I'm just going up here with clean water, and that's simply just to even out the water levels. The more even the water levels are, the more evenly it will dry, and the less chance of drying lines. Of course, there is always a chance of drying lines in a sky like this. We're going to do our best to reduce it. You know what? I'm pretty happy with that. Let's leave it alone, let it dry. Have you ever literally put paint on the wrong part of a painting because you thought you were painting a different bit? This happens to me all the time, especially when I'm painting flowers. Sometimes when you've just got a white sheet of paper and a drawing, it can be really hard to know which colour flower you're on or if that's actually a leaf. Sometimes you can mistake a bit of a negative shape in the background as something you actually should be painting. Let's look at what went wrong when I was painting my gouache painting of hollyhocks and what I did about it. So I've just made a really dumb mistake in this painting, and it won't be immediately obvious because it's not like a spilled paint or something like that. Now, I'm painting these hollyhocks in gouache, and if I show you the photograph, so I've got 4 stems here. Now this has been photoshopped. I took the background out simply because the stems were further apart, so I've just sort of rearranged them so I can paint them easily. So it has been chopped about a little bit. So I'm not copying exactly what's there, but I do have this idea of doing 4 stems. I've got these sort of white pale pink ones here. I've got these medium pink ones. I've got the cream ones here and the dark red ones here. Now, normally I would paint each stem separately, but because I've been filming for YouTube and I've wanted to show different colours and different parts of the painting, I started painting this one. I got most of the way through painting these. I turned the camera off overnight and then I popped back in and I wanted to show part of painting these red ones. So I started painting the red ones, and what I've done is I painted the top flower of the stem, which should be the cream ones, and I've painted it dark red. So let's have a look. So this flower here, and I noticed it actually after I painted this first large petal at the top. I looked at it and I thought, oh, these ones up here, they should be cream, they shouldn't be red. And I thought, well, it's gouache, I could paint over the top, but it doesn't always cover 100%, and I just didn't want to sort of layer up that much, and underneath layers tend to disturb and get muddy, and I could see it just becoming a bit of a mess. So I thought, right, let's just style it out. So I mean, I could add another stem of red flowers going this way, but actually I think it's the sort of thing that people won't really notice once I've got lots of leaves and other flowers in. So I've done a couple of things to sort of add to the effect that there might be some red flowers going in this direction. So one thing I've done is I've just added these petals up here just to sort of move the red across a bit at the top. And down at the bottom of the painting, there was actually a red bud going this way. As I said, I've moved things around a bit on this painting, but what I've done is I've just moved this one over here. And although it's coming from this original stem, I just think we can get an idea that there may be another stem crossing this way, because once I've got all the leaves in, there's going to be very little background on show. And let's see if I can just style it out. So here I am at the very final stages of my painting, and here's my flower still in the wrong place. I'll put a picture up of the whole image because the camera's too low down to capture the whole thing. It's quite a large painting, and you can let me know if you think I got away with it. At this halfway point in the video, can I just ask you quickly, please, to click that like button. If you can like, share, leave me a comment or subscribe. All of those things are free. Making content for YouTube, I absolutely love making this content for you, but it's so time consuming, and you can really help me with that YouTube algorithm, particularly by clicking the like button. Have you ever painted a sky? It's gone really well, and then as it's drying, a little bit of water or paint or a puddle of something from the side of the board just starts to sneak in and makes a big old bloom or background in your sky. This is exactly what happened to me when I was painting a sunset. Let's look at how I fixed it. I'll also tell you how to avoid it, because I really do know better. So here I am in the middle of a YouTube tutorial with the sky still wet, and I forgot to wipe around the edge of my board. What's happened is a load of water here has come down and bled in. So I'm going to go straight in with the sky colour I used and spread this around again. Coming down with clean water. Again, just with a clean, slightly damp brush here. A little more of the lilac. Finishing with a clean, damp brush. And this time I'll remember to wipe around the edge of the board. For this next one, I was actually filming a tutorial of painting magnolias for my complete watercolour flower painting course. That course has only just been launched. We've got a big discount on it. So if you're watching this video when it first goes up, do have a look in the video description for that. But I was filming a tutorial and I just got some paint on the background where it shouldn't be. Now, doesn't this happen all the time? Sometimes I transfer it from my sleeve. Sometimes I drop a paintbrush. There's really two options and neither is right or wrong. You can try and remove the paint or you can incorporate it into your picture. Let's see what I did on this occasion. Today I'm painting magnolias and I have just made a stupid mistake. So I noticed I was missing a petal here, so I decided to draw it on before I painted. You can see I'm putting the soft shadows and the pink colours in. This is the photograph I'm working from. I wanted to put this extra petal in, and when I placed my pencil on the paper, for some reason it's got a load of paint on it. It's got this colour here, which is my petal shadow colour. And I've actually put paint on the paper instead of a nice crisp pencil outline. So what to do about it? Well, it's paint, it will dissolve. What I'm not going to do is I'm not going to scrub at it with an eraser. That would just spread it everywhere and it wouldn't lift it out. So the first thing I'm going to do is clean this pencil by dipping it in my water chart and giving it a good scrub. And then I'll go ahead and draw the petal that I was going to draw anyway, because we're not going to panic, we're just going to carry on. So I've got this smudge of paint in there. It's very small, as I said, it will dissolve, so I'm going to take a small brush and we'll just incorporate that if we can into the painting. So I'm going to wet the petal, which is what I would have done anyway before I placed the paint on, and then we're just going to dissolve this paint like so. Now, the good thing with the flower painting is you can always put an extra petal or an extra leaf in place. Now, I actually was drawing a petal here, but even if I'd smudged something on the paper and there hadn't been something there, you know, before you consider getting that thing off your paper, just ask yourself, could I just adjust the composition a little bit and place something extra in there? This time I've managed to completely erase the mistake. Nobody is ever going to know. I'll show you the finished painting in a moment. Now do let me know in the comments what you think of this style of video, because I'm always making mistakes. Would you like me to film some other mistakes I make? And if you enjoy seeing me working on my own paintings, do check out the new masterclass series that I'm putting up on Sunday mornings, at least Sunday mornings here in the UK, where you can see me working in detail on a certain part of one of my own paintings, whether that's the drawing or the sky or whatever I'm doing. And if you're interested in any of my online courses, I've got beginners watercolour, I've got beginners drawing, and just out is my complete watercolour flower painting course. I'm so pleased with it. It's very comprehensive. You get lifetime access. You can have a look in the comments of this video description, find the link and watch the introduction video for free. Find out all about the course and see if it's right for you. And if you found this video useful, I think you're going to enjoy my 30 top mistakes that beginner watercolour artists make. You can watch that video right now.